speaker is Ryan Mooney Bullock. Ryan is Executive Director of Green Umbrella, which we've already heard mentioned in at least a couple of the presentations so far. Green Umbrella serves as the Regional Sustainability Alliance of Greater Cincinnati, with hundreds of member organizations and individuals passionate about enhancing the environmental health and vitality of our region.
It's been fun to hear all of the exciting things that are going on, a lot of which I know about, but also thinking about how they all connect into research and university partnerships. So I'll add a little bit to the context. Green Umbrella is the Regional Sustainability Alliance for Greater Cincinnati. We're a member-based organization that has over 200 member organizations of all kinds involved, and all of the major universities in Greater Cincinnati are members of Green Umbrella. And so that's one first point of connection. But we are really focused on facilitating collaboration that has the end result of changing policies, systems, and environmental conditions that will really allow all of our partner organizations and our local governments to work more effectively and achieve more results when it comes to environmental quality, sustainability, climate action. And so we have very much this like policy level work, systems change work. And a lot of the heart of what we do is around bringing together many partners who kind of have different perspectives on an issue or a challenge, and getting them to share all of their unique perspectives so that we can tackle that challenge effectively and really hope for some significant change. So first of all, if you don't already know, Green Umbrella manages a Green Jobs Board, which is the place to go if you are looking for internships, full-time positions, part-time positions with any environmental nonprofit or organization, public agency that's related to green or environmental issues. They almost all post their jobs there, so that's a great resource to know about. We also have a membership directory that has cool information about our more than 200 members. And so if you're trying to learn more about like what other organizations are out there that you might want to partner with, that could be a good jumping off point just to see what's out there and who potential collaborators might be for your research or other work that you're trying to do. We have a number of different programs that we support as a part of Green Umbrella. And I'm just going to highlight some of the ways that they have participated with university partners in the past. So our Cincinnati 2030 district is a network of high performing buildings. So buildings that have committed to reporting their data to make progress towards 50% reductions in energy use, water use, and transportation emissions by the year 2030. UC, NKU, and Xavier are all members of the 2030 district, and university buildings represent the largest building footprint within the district. So it's a really huge part of that effort. Sustainability coordinators like Tiffany Budd at NKU and Daniel Hart at UC have been really key in advocating for those universities to become a part of the district, to make sure that they're reporting their data annually and that they're figuring out what can we do to help make progress towards those goals. So they have been key connectors into facilities departments, architecture departments, professors, and more, just to make sure that there's actual impact coming out of that work. We also have a number of working groups that are focused on those 4 different pillars that you see. And we have representations from all 3 of those institutions, universities on those teams. We also had, earlier on in the launch of the district, Nancy Berteau at Xavier incorporated research and analysis of the potential impact of the 2030 district into one of her economics courses, which really gave us some interesting insight as we were getting launched. Another key part of the launch of the 2030 district was Amanda Webb at UC, whose analysis of like building by building, size, energy performance, other key factors really helped us understand the potential impact of the 2030 district, particularly in large downtown buildings, and helped us to understand what top priority buildings for recruitment and for like kind of natural fit or more challenging buildings, but that would really be impactful to bring on board. And she's continued, and her students have continued to work with us. They have done energy audits in City of Cincinnati fire departments. They have helped make the case for Cincinnati joining a national coalition that's focused on getting large buildings to commit to further progress. So happy to have her work along with us. And also there's definitely potential for lots more research related to this work. We have a ton of data that we're collecting. We just started collecting data on commuting behavior related to 2030 district buildings. And we just brought on board a student from UC to do a project with us to help understand and really communicate the results of our first transportation survey and what we can learn from it. We also manage Tri-State Trails, which is working to connect people and places with a regional trail and bikeway network. It conducts a trail monitoring program every year that looks at the usage of trails across the region. And Dr. Na Chen from UC School of Planning has really been critical in helping establish that methodology and do that analysis each year. We've also had support from UC School of Planning on studying and kind of doing concept mapping and potential route analysis of a number of trail corridors, especially the Mill Creek corridor lately. Xavier University is actively helping us to connect the Crown Trail, part of Wasson Way, part of the Crown Trail through their campus. And we've hosted trail summits at universities, including UC, and are hoping to host it at NKU this fall. We also know that students can be awesome advocates for more safe, active transportation. And we saw their voices at work at UC over the last 6 months in advocating for the continued use of the temporary bike lane on Clifton Avenue. So it's exciting to see students speaking up and sharing their passion for safe, environmentally friendly ways to get around our community. We also support the Greater Cincinnati Regional Food Policy Council, which is working to create a healthy, equitable, and sustainable food system for all. We have been working with Christ College faculty member Alan White to create, promote, and publish the Food Shed Atlas, which is telling the story of Cincinnati's food system, past, present, and future. So keep an eye out for that forthcoming. A number of local artists, mappers, and other students and professors have contributed content to that awesome coffee table book. We've also been working with OSU faculty on some really exciting policy work related to farm to school spending flexibility. And we've also worked in the past with Frank Russell in DAP at doing some research and evaluation work related to our food system. There's a lot of potential growth here. We've just met for the first time with UC's new Net Impact student group and are excited to explore its interest in entrepreneurship and sustainability and how that can connect into our local food system, as well as Miami University's Institute for Food, which is really thinking about where it can go and what role it can play in the region. I would say that we have done a lot more data analysis and evaluation over the last year, thanks to Maddie Chera joining our team. She's the new director of the Food Policy Council, but came on board in an analyst role. And so I think we have started the process of really understanding what more we could learn and understand about our local food system. And so for folks who are interested in this work, I definitely encourage you to reach out to her, or I'd be happy to connect you. We have work that we're supporting through the CPS Outside Impact team that's working to ensure district-wide outdoor environmental education for all students in Cincinnati public schools. And we've really had key support from UC through the Arlett Center and the College of Education, Criminal Justice, and Human Services. We have folks from both of those departments on our impact team working groups. They've helped us, do literature reviews on the benefits of outdoor learning and play for kids, so we can really make the case to the community for why this is so important to invest in. And also shared amazing professional development resources for teachers. But we think that that can go so much further. We would love to see universities incorporate outdoor teaching skills into their curriculum for pre-service teachers so that the next generation of teachers in our schools are coming in with a passion and the knowledge of how to do this and how to incorporate outdoor learning and play into all aspects of their curriculum at all age levels, because we really see it as crucial to healthy human development, but also, as Connie touched on before, to start to create that care for the natural world, which may not lead to behavior change, but at least when it's started young enough can head us in the right direction. This is a little bit of a data black hole for us right now, in the sense that we are just starting to think about the possibilities of expanded outdoor green spaces and learning and play spaces on school campuses, and would love to hear from folks who would be interested in thinking about an evaluation and data collection approach that would really help us understand what the possibilities are here. There is amazing data nationally and, from cities across the world, really. But in terms of measuring our impact within one school district, we'd be excited to think more about this collectively. And then finally, we have a agriculture education curriculum advisory committee that includes representatives from both UC and Cincinnati State. And we're excited to hear from them about what types of career pathways we might start making sure are available within our schools, so that students are accessing those resources early on, kind of tying into what Kelsey was speaking about earlier. And we also support the Common Orchard Project, which is growing fresh fruit and green space in urban spaces. It's on track to plant 15 commonly held orchards a year. And these sites don't just provide fresh fruit, but they also create green space. They sequester about 2.5 tons of carbon over their lifetime for each orchard and absorb 500 gallons of water during each rain event. Those are projections. If anybody wants to come along for the ride to help us actually quantify those, that would be exciting. And a recent co-op from DAP helped us create an amazing story map that you can find on the website there, commonorchard.com/thestory, that talks about how this work got started and what it is and what it's going to do for our community. Finally, we have an area of work that we refer to as climate policy. And it is really working to enhance the ability of local governments across our 10-county region, which has 3 states in it, to both prepare for the effects of climate change while they are also reducing their own impacts on climate emissions. And so we are doing a ton of work to bring these partners together. We are excited to be partnering on a social network analysis coming up with Carla Schifos and Daniel Murphy from UC to really understand Cincinnati's emerging climate network. You've already heard about the work that we've been doing with Groundwork and the city and Carly Trott on the climate advisory groups through Climate Safe Neighborhoods. And we're really trying to make sure that from the start of the regional climate collaborative that we're forming, we have a solid kind of evaluation process to understand if the methods we're using, if the types of outreach we're doing are really making a difference. There's also a huge potential to start documenting the results of this work. So just like the city of Cincinnati has been tracking the emissions reductions that they are achieving thanks to the Green Cincinnati Plan, we could be doing something like that across the region that really looks at a bunch of different local governments and the regional emissions reductions. And finally, we have one really exciting opportunity in the works, especially for students. We are working to bring the resilience cohort model that the Environmental Resilience Institute at Indiana University has developed into our counties in Ohio and Kentucky. And the basic model is that it connects specific local governments who apply to participate with a fellow for the summer. So this would be an undergraduate or graduate student who is basically working in-house with a local government over the course of a summer to conduct a series of activities that help them engage in climate action planning and resilience planning. And so we are in the process of fundraising right now in order to implement this program in 2023 for the first time for 5 to 10 local governments. And so that would mean 5 to 10 fellowships for students that could have an awesome experience really getting their hands in local government climate planning and having a huge impact. So please reach out to me if you have funding connections or other ideas that will help us bring that work to our region. And finally, any ideas for collaboration or active research, we'd love to hear from you. It's something that we're really focused on continuing to improve how we can not just have policy impact, but really measure the impact of the work that we're doing collectively and how it benefits our entire community.